Instead of trying to change the white man in your mind, make you accept us, we change the mind of the black man and make him accept himself. And as soon as he accepts himself, he'll solve his own problem. He won't be trying to force himself into your factory and into your bedroom and into your kitchen.
With no education, you have neo-colonialism instead of colonialism, like you got in Africa 9, like you got in Haiti. So what we're talking about is there has to be educational program. That's very important. As a matter of fact, it's so important for us that a person has to go through 6 weeks of our political education before he can consider himself a member of the party, able to even run down ideology for the party. Why? Because if they don't have an education, then they're nowhere. You dig what I'm saying? They're nowhere because they don't even know why they're doing what they're doing. You might get people caught up in the emotionless movement. You understand me? You might get them caught up in because they're poor and they want something. And then if they're not educated, they want more. And before you know it, they'll be capitalist. And before you know it, we have Negro imperialists.
Malcolm X said, "We need to wake up, clean up, and stand up." Asada Shakur wrote, "It's not enough just to change the system. We need to change ourselves."
Educator, author, activist, and empowerment coach AGYEI'S took these two principles and used them to write his new book, Ukusu.
This book is a tool anyone seeking to become empowered can utilize to become a community asset rather than a community liability.
Ukusu will help you develop the character, thinking, and behavior necessary to rescue and liberate our individual and collective village.
Featuring straightforward information and beautiful reaffirming images,
this book, combined with your practical application of its principles, will help you to transform yourself and transform our people. Starting on August 9th, 2024, go get your discounted copy of Ukusu, an empowerment handbook by AGYEI'S.
Starting on August 9th, 2024, go to Amazon and get your copy.
Peace and Black Power families, Brother AGYEI'S from Harlem Liberation School, where we teach Black people to wake up, clean up, and stand up, in the words of Brother Malcolm X. You know, family, we're in the month of August, and this is a very important month for a lot of reasons. A lot of things historically that relate to our people have occurred in August, some of them great and some of them tragic. But today we're talking about Black August. We're going to talk about the history and meaning of it. And rather than me trying to do it myself, I'm humble enough to understand that there's people out here who are much more qualified than myself to teach the community about it. And one of them is the brother that we're going to have as our guest today, Brother Bomani Shakur. I'm going to read a little something about our brother to give him proper introduction. Bomani Uhuru Jihad Shakur is a conscious new African citizen, a new African revolutionary nationalist who is the host of the George Jackson radio show. He's the vice chancellor of George Jackson University. He's the acting spokesperson for George Jackson University, and he's an active member of the Black August Organizing Committee. So when I'm looking for somebody to break down Black August, who better to do it than somebody that's down with the Black August Organizing Committee? Family, without further ado, I want to bring our good brother on, warrior for the community, brother Bomani. How you doing, good brother? Free the land.
But I didn't mean necessary, brother. I'm good, man. I'm away. I'm strong. But how about yourself?
Hey, man, I'm blessed to be breathing, good brother, and I'm glad to be able to see you again. And I'm glad that you were able to heed the call to actually give us some time, your energy, and your thoughts around this very important commemoration called Black August. I guess I would begin, brother Bomani, by asking. Let me just put some things up here. Let me first say, family, I want to thank all of you, the 174 of you who donated money, the rest of you who spread the word. Because of you, Harlem Liberation School's $10,000 fundraising campaign for Brother Daruba bin Wahad to take care of his medical costs and transportation costs from Africa to the United States has been successful. And we want to thank the community for coming out and showing up and showing out, showing reciprocity. We should be there for people who stuck their necks out for us. So that's a big, for us, that's a statement to the world that we love and value our revolutionaries, our freedom fighters, and our truth tellers. And so I'm very pleased to announce that. Now, we put a few things up so people know what we're talking about. And the very first question for you, Bomani, is a very general question. Could you provide an overview of the origins and the history of Black August?
Okay. Yes, sir. I can do that, man. First, I would like to say, "Where's the August Salamu," which is Swahili for Black August salutations. Now, the history and origin of Black August date back to spring 1978 in San Quentin State Prison, or you want to say March 1970 San Quentin State Prison. A collective of brothers was on the yard discussing the aspects of the brothers who had fallen through armed struggle with a knife in their hand or gun in their hand during the California Black Prison Movement, right? And some individuals that were discussed about were Conrad George Jackson, Johnny Jackson, W. Nolan, William Cribbs, James McClain, and other individuals, right? You know, Alswood, Merle Cleveland Evans. And during this aspect, an organizing committee, a Black August Memorial organizing committee was established during that time, right? Planning committee. And some of the individuals on that yard at that time were people like Jeffrey Qatar Garden, known as the Joe Qatar, known as the Dragon, you know, the Black Dragon, where Conrad George was the first dragon, right? And due to that aspect, the foundation was created at that time to honor those who have fallen and also to pay respect in regard to the aspect of position and support political prisoners. All these brothers were political prisoners on the Adjustment Center in the shoe. So that basically was a little history about it, whereas the importance of it is to realize that 9 out of 10, the majority of us have people that are affected by the pre-industrial slave complex, which is the prison system, right? You know, and it's the biggest multi-million dollar business in the entire planet Earth. Everybody invests into it. So knowing that when we go into the American academic systems, such as the American schools and so forth and so on, we learn about different things that it doesn't pertain to our actuality. We are conditioned and programmed to accept and enculturate and indoctrinated, as well as social engineered to accept things that don't deal with us in regards to the history of the Greeks, the Roman, the Mycenaeans, the Italians, so forth and so on, right? Whereas when we do learn things, we learn about people that didn't resist, such as the people in the civil rights movement, namely Martin Luther King. You know, he resisted, but he didn't resist on an armed struggle standpoint. Learn about people like Rosa Parks and other individuals, but you know, learn about individuals that actually pitted the gun, pitted the knife to defend themselves, and waged the armed struggle and Black liberation, the armed struggle, and go out to do certain things. So Black August is a time to learn about the people who fought back in regard to a system of capitalism and imperialism. Like Conrad George Jackson said, fascism is already here. So this is the time you learn about these different individuals, right? It's also a time that you engage the aspects of learning about cooperative economics, training, institution, program, learning about different languages. Time you engage in documentary, time you create solidarity with your brothers and sisters in your community, neighborhood, and your family, so forth, so on, right? So it's a significant time of unity that is established. unity that started from a different event historically that engaged into armed struggle and resistance. And it's also a time to show you that we actually can resist and be successful, and also we can be ourselves in the meantime, gaining about our own culture, our own ideas, and our own mind state. So that's a little bit about Black August and the history and importance of my year.
Thank you for that, Brother Bomani. And I guess even though you touched a little bit on it, I was hoping that you could explain some of the key people associated with Black August. Most of us know, George Jackson and maybe Brother Qatari. We've heard W.L. Nolan, maybe Jonathan Jackson. Could you give us a sense of why these people are important? Maybe starting with George Jackson.
Okay. First, I want to say that Black August begun in 1979 right, in San Quentin State Prison, but it also begun in 1979 in Soledad Prison as well. Developed simultaneously at the same time because due to the fact that certain individuals on the yard in San Quentin, they got tried in Soledad, they took them concepts in Soledad as well and brought it into existence, right? Whereas Black August had two ramifications, right? The first aspect is the manifestation of the Black August Martyr, bam, which is also Black August Memorial. Whereas during this memorial aspect of things, we honor those who have fallen. And the honorary people fall upon we call it Flee Days. Flee stand for First Liberation Expedition of Africa, which is our homeland, which is our mind state, right? And the first Flee Day is August the 3rd, 1978, to commemorate Joe Qatar Regalda that died from a head injury while playing football and the medical neglect from the system what is the hospital because they know he was a leader and he was a leader in the prison movement within California. So that Flee Day, during Flee Day, you fast 24 hours. Right? That 24 hours is a remembrance and commemoration for the sacrifice of brothers who prayed out from the way. Whereas August the 7th commemorate the Marion County shootout, which deal with condemning the man-child, John Jackson, William Chrysler, John McClain, right, who all was assassinated during that day. Where Ruchell McGee, who picked the arm and struggled away, he was injured, but he didn't die. He went on to serve almost 60 years of his life in California prison and was released and eventually failed. So August the 7th commemorates those brothers. Those are four brothers. Those are four so far. Qatari, James McClain, William Christmas, and the man-child. Whereas August the 13th is commemoration toward the event that took place on January 13, 1970, when there'll be a Nolan, Al Sweet Judge Miller, and Cleveland Edwards on the yard. And it was a fight broke out in regards to them and the Aryan Brotherhood. Where the brothers were winning, so the guards came and killed all these brothers and assassinated them, right? August January 13th. So we commemorate that day on August 13th as a Flee Day. And from that action, it resulted in the aspect of a pig being killed, and people charged with it was Conrad George, Fleeto Drongo, and John Clouchet, and they became known as the Soledad Brothers. The Soledad Brothers, because they were charged with the crime of killing the pig, became known as Soledad Brothers. And in fact, Conrad George wrote a book called Soledad Brothers, which basically is autobiography, so to speak. Now, August the 21st, which is the final day, which would make the last martyr, which is 8 martyrs, including James McClain, William Christmas, Al Sweet Judge Millers, Johnny Jackson, Qatari Regalda, everybody knows all the other individuals. Now you have on August 21st, 1971, the Adjustment Center, Conrad George, on their way out of the Adjustment Center, was assassinated. He was assassinated because he was a leader in the prison movement. He was leading the prison movement, and they knew that the brother had educated a lot of brothers. He had influence on the street. He was an international political prisoner. So they assassinated him. And those are known as Flee Day, where the second component of things is known as Black August Resistance. First off, Black August is a 365 day a year thing. Black August is all year round. where the month of August, from August the 1st, August 31st, is Black August Memorial. But then from September the 1st, January 31st, Black August positions. And during that time, you promote and propagate the building institutions, building the programs, training, the aspects of educating people, and the aspects of gaining independence, right? And also the aspect of dealing with political prisoners, and also make people aware of political prisoner conditions, and basically pushing the transfer culture in regards to want to transfer the culture of the capital imperial and the fascists and transfer to a new African revolutionary national culture. They're gonna give it the liberties in regards to obtaining our particular needs of food, clothing, shelter, and so forth and so on, right? So, those basically the two elements doing Black August, and Black August resistance consists of different things that happen in the city, such as the Watts Rebellion 1965, the Ardennes 11, that took place August 18, 1971, the aspects of the rebellion that took place August 21st, 17 in the 1790s in Haiti, when Haiti had the rebellion, and so forth. It goes on. A lot of different things took place that month, including the birthday of Marcus Garvey, August 17th, the birthday of Chairman Fred, the birthday of Russell Maroon Schultz, so forth, so on. Those things happening during August to show the birthday of people that resist, and also the events of resistance in regard to armed struggle. So that basically a little bit somebody in the nutshell, right? But you also say you want to know about certain people, right? Okay. Well, some of the people from the founder of Black August, people like Suja Graham, who's a close comrade, of Qatar Garden, right? He one of the ones that basically let's go and do it. Suja Graham, Paul Sangu, brothers like Fatiero, other individuals that was on the yard at that time that did certain things, right? Then also, that was the San Quentin. You also the brother in Saleh, like other G2 Sadiku, Dadi Sierra, Zaribu, which is Michael Duro. Those are some of the individuals that founded Black August. Whereas the first Black August organized committee were headed by a sister named Adama Campbell. She's the first chairperson of the Black August organized committee, which is the body that push out the ideas of Black August, that push out the commemoration of Black August. Black August is a revolutionary culture. Like I stated earlier, they're practically 365 days a year, right? And then all throughout the time period, been different chairperson. One of the other chairperson that we had lost was Shaka Athene. Shaka Athene was pushing it in Oakland, as well as his wife at that time, Mama Ayana Mashama, were pushing it at that time as well. You also individuals like Mata Musa, who was the chairman at one time as well, who pushing the ideas of Black August, as well as the myself, remember Black August Committee, as well as a lot of different comrades on the East Coast and the West Coast, mainly out of Georgia University, have been pushing the concept of Black August for decades. So a lot of us, as well as other individuals around the globe, have been pushing certain things, as well as different elements known as Black August Los Angeles. That had members of the Black August community was a part of it. Like at one time, Elder G. Sadiqa, who actually transitioned, they have a memorial for this month. People like the Black August historian, Kamasi Gillett, who was a close comrade of Conrad George Jackson. You have people like Mama Keelam Niasa, who reported a lot of documented certain things. She also wanted to find the Freedom Archive, who also at that time was a girlfriend of Conrad George Jackson, who also did security for Huey New. She was the propagator of Black August as well. So those are some of the individuals that have been propagating Black August for years. But well, all the brothers behind enemy line that are current political prisoners, such as Aldo Luba Shakur, one that founded GWU, Joe Hajim Jinsei of GWU, Otopi Deguma, Walu Cambone, Paul Red. The list goes on and on. Different individuals that have been labeled security risks in the California prison system have been labeled security members, gang members put in the security hostage unit for their ideas focused around just having the George Jackson book blood and my solid brother of promoting aspect of Black August in general. And during Black August, a lot of them brothers had received ill treatment, mad treatment, and were locked down or were beaten or so forth, so on, or forced to fighting gladiator thing during the month of Black August and persecuted by the FBI, as well as the AGYEI'S, which is the Institution of Gang Investigating Unit, other apparatus that have been persecuting brothers. The fact that they commemorate the legacy of Comrade George Jackson. You know, and from that assassinated Comrade George Jackson on the day of August 21st, another group of political prisoners were born known as Soledad, bro. I mean, known as the San Quentin Six. The San Quentin Six consisted of different individuals from different ethnic backgrounds, such as Louis Talamentes, which was a Mexican. They had like a southern Mexican mafia influence. You had people like Hugo Yogo Pineda, who were Nicaraguan. You know, we identified with the blacks and the Africans. You had people like Johnny Spain. You had people like Willie Sunday Tate, Fleeto Drongo, who was a solid brother. You also had people like David G.I. Johnson. Those were the San Quentin Six, right? You know, because during that day, different pigs got killed that day, as well as race and white inmates got killed that day from the Avon Brotherhood, because Justice Center was a lockdown unit. They got killed as well, right, during that day, right? But the main focus was that he wanted to assassinate Comrade George, stopping influence. So those are some people that been influential, and there's some history about some of the individuals of Black August. I hope they answer your question here, brother.
Absolutely, brother, you did thoroughly, I might add too. There's a few things that I deeply respect about Black August. Without me getting into it, I think you're gonna answer it when you answer this question. How is Black August different from other Black commemorations? Let's say like a Black History Month. How would you say Black August is different than many of our other sort of historical commemorations?
Okay, well, one thing that made Black August different, that Black August is about action. You know, the motto is fast, steady, train, and fight, right? And during that time period, we learned things like self-defense, learning martial arts, we learned how to survive in the woods, learned how to shoot guns. We learned different African language, Swahili, you know what I'm saying, Fula, so forth and so on. We are fast and maintain our mindset, learn about how to survive without food. We learned the importance of how to stockpile things and how not to shop with the oppressor and deal with new African businesses. We learned from the whole aspect about the resistance, the ones who fought back for a whole particular month, right? So, and not only the whole month, Black August resonated through the whole particular year, right? So during that time period, during Black August, a lot of institutions and programs are created for the people needs. They can last on for 10, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Unlike all the other celebration and commemoration, right? It's not a prison holiday that people say. It's not that. It's a commemoration toward our resistance as Black people, our resistance new African people, right? Because when it started out, the movement were coming out. They were coming out of the movement in regards to a movement called "Where's the Guy to Jama," for the Swahili for Black Guerrilla family. These brothers is a military and political organization that bent on liberating the minds of the people. You know what I'm saying? Educating the people. The same thing you say like the Black Panther Party, Black Army, Republic of Africa, Ram Snake, so forth and so on, right? You get to it uplifting the people, right? So at the core of everything is the Ways to God Majama. That's the core of everything, right? And period, you know, which is a movement in prison that influenced educate brothers to learn how to read and write, protect themselves against race attack from the feed, race attack to get the Mexican, Southern Mexican, so forth and so on, right? Protect the brother from getting raped, protect your brother and brother educated aspect of educating brothers. A lot of brothers can read and write, you know, train brothers in self-defense, so forth and so on, right? So it was a very influential movement that saved a lot of brothers and sisters' life, including a lot of members of the Black Panther Party that were persecuted and went to the prison in California. A lot of them were saved through the Black Guerrilla family as well, Ways to God Majama. So these are aspects that are really real. That's the foundation within itself, right? Of Black August, you know. So, what were the other question? What the rest of that, brother? I can't hear you.
Thank you for that. One of the questions would be, what would you say are some of the main goals and messages? Because some people think it's just for Black political prisoners or some of our prisoners of war, and we know it's centered in that because that's where it comes from that, you know, in Soledad and in San Quentin. But it has a larger. It's trying to reach new Africans all over. Correct? and to address revolutionary issues and aspects all around. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like I was saying, when Black Argo first started, a lot of people ideology at that time was revolutionary black nationalism coming out of black communism. So people they collectively evolved to one term it being New African, New African Revolutionary Nationalism, because they understood that Revolutionary Nationalism recruited the provision of 1968. They understood the aspect of independence and self-determination, right? So in regards to this, Black August is a revolutionary culture that can commemorate year round. Like I said, 365 days a year, right? And some of the aspects of it is the aspects that hold dear to us in regards to the history of resistance, right? If we talk about independence, right? We talk about schools, our own banks, our own land, our own farms, our own vegetables and food sovereignty, and be able to protect ourselves and our own government, so forth and so on, right? Black August that gauge a monitor to educate yourself on guard against that particular place, right? Because during that time period, it talked about a lot of brothers that were behind enemy lines, and also the brothers and sisters and brothers that was on the street. Because in 1979, during the month of August, on KPFA, which is out of Berkeley, was a radio station. A sister named Kisufu and a brother named Jashiri introduced Black August as a revolutionary culture and idea to the mass of the people on the streets all throughout California, right? Instead of talking about certain things that occurred in regards to particular tenets and ideas and concepts that resonate with people doing Black August, right? So Black August is a time to basically a time to look what it's a time to monitor where you came from last year. Like say for instance, doing Black August last year, you were talking about creating a business. Are you talking about creating an institution or a program? Are you talking about creating something that benefits needed people or gaining some kind of degree, or learning some kind of self-defense, doing something else phenomenal for yourself or whether the people, right? So Black August is time to engage that aspect where you came from. To see how far you're in advance into your plan, or how much we achieve from that time period, right? That's why we had the Black August Journal. Black August Journal is how you write in daily in regard to showing your success. If you're trying to break a habit, if you're trying to learn new skill, new talent, if you're trying to look at certain documentaries and videos, because doing Black August, we focus on watching documentaries and videos regarding educational things. We focus on only going to the store to get things to get to our medical aspect. If we shop with the new African people in regard to food and so forth and so on, right? So it teaches you the aspect of how to deal with cooperative economics, it teach the aspect of unity, teach the aspect of brotherhood and sisterhood, teach you the aspect of educating yourself, it teaches the aspect of being able to carry the tradition and coaching, and also again you the aspect of Black love, Black pride, Black self-determination and hope in regards to seeing people before you made the ultimate sacrifice to make things a reality in regard to life. Even though they see certain things in their lifetime, they paid the way and made the foundation, right? So there's a lot of different lessons that you can learn from Black August in general by being a practitioner, right? So for instance, like if a food shortage take place, right, and you haven't been fasting, how you think to survive you haven't been fasting already? How you think to survive you don't have any food? Or if it's a food shortage and you learn about different food edibles in the community and environment in woods, if you don't know that, how you gonna get something to eat if you don't know that? If somebody if the lights go out and somebody try to break in your house, you're not defend yourself, you don't have no weapon, you don't learn self-defense, how you can defend yourself, protect yourself and your family? But I will teach you these things, a lot of times to learn these things, learn these skill sets to better yourself, in regards to emergency and disaster, so forth and so on. So Black August is significant in regards to a lot of things, and also make you understand the aspect of board and the British slave company, the British system, because not being a commodity for that system by to realize, recognize that, and see the accomplishment and great achievement that brothers did. What they came out of criminal element, because Conrad Joe was a criminal. He came out of criminal element, to be the great leader and respect person he is, the epitome of manhood in his word. So those are examples before us, in general. It wasn't people like Malcolm X was a criminal. People like St. Shakur was a criminal. The list goes on and on, go out to Bunchy Carter, use of Bomani Shakur, so forth and so on. These people are criminals. They transfer their mentality through a revolutionary mentality through educational means. So those are examples before that we can look at and gravitate to it and be up for it. Well, also the time to realize and honor that people like the RN11 fought against the pigs and they didn't curtail submit to the attack by the pigs to try to neutralize them. You know what I'm saying? The aspect of the people that watched rebellion, they gave root to a lot of things in the independent, a lot of things in different movement in regards to Ram, the House of Remote, and so forth and so on the West Coast to be established as an organization got recruited from the riot, rebellion, criminal element, gang element, recruited from the aspect to build our particular movement. So it's a time to look at, to understand that, realize that the Haitian Revolution began in the month of August. And Haiti gained the independence January the 1st, but it started during the month of August. The time Nat Brown rebelled in August against his slave master. Those are significant contributions they can look at, look at for reality, what it really is, and look at their standpoint, because it really makes sense in regards to who we are. So, like, it's a lot of things, right? And I yield, brother,
Yeah, man. Listen, man, again, we want to thank you, Bomani. Those of you watching, our brother has been involved in the struggle for years. He's not new. He's doing a lot of things, wearing a lot of hats. And we thank you for your time and energy. I wanted to just take a quick diversion and show some of the brothers and sisters that are here with us. We got Brother Fred Chavis. He's saying peace and love to comrades. Land, good brother. Peace. Back to you. Zariah Douglas is in the building. Sister Veronica Ann Quimper, sister. She says greetings to the family. The Nehemiah X giving the greetings for Black August. And Brother Rashad is also in the building. And Brother Rashad kind of builds off on what you were saying, Brother Bomani. Gives his own kind of explanation, which is good as well. Black August, an annual commemoration of prison-based holiday to remember Black political prisoners, Black freedom struggles in the United States and beyond, and to highlight Black resistance. And I want to keep that up there for a minute. I want to say this. Many of us believe in the illusion of this American dream with the whole integration and foundation piece.
Yeah.
And what's important about people like George Jackson, Black Family, many of the people associated with Black August, many of the organizations, the revolutionary national type organizations, is they're reminding us that nationalism is actually older than integrationism and accommodation. People forget that. But we have a longer history of fighting back and resistance and wanting our own and returning to our source than we have of trying to be part of America. And we were never asked if we wanted to be part of America. They passed that 14th Amendment and they just made us citizens of America. Nobody ever asked us. We had no referendum. So Black August means a lot to me. It's telling people we're not just learning about what people did in the past. We're going to emulate what they did. We're going to build on what they did. And we're going to practice and demonstrate what they did right now. That's very important. Fasting, studying, the fighting, this emphasis on resistance is very important. And I would encourage those watching who know nothing about this commemoration to learn more about it. I have one scrolling on the bottom. Follow and support George Jackson University. Brother Bomani is affiliated with George Jackson University. You can go there. They have a wealth of information. If you contact Brother Bomani, he'll send you information. But we need to learn about this so that we can keep the spirit of George Jackson and Harry Golden and many of the brothers and sisters affiliated with this movement alive. We can't just, I always tell people, you can quote Malcolm and Garvey and Asada. That's great. That's good. But what will our great grandkids be saying about us? Right? What role are we going to play? Are we going to pick up the mantle? Are we forever going to be quoting people? We have to not only quote them, we have to emulate what they did. So that's personally, Brother Bomani, what I really take away from Black August, and that's what I appreciate about it. It's focusing on that activism, that the revolution, and it also has a nationalist piece, right? We're not talking about we just trying to make America great. We're talking about we want a sovereignty, self-determination, right?
Independence.
So that's what I like.
Yeah, I also want to say that today is a commemoration in regard to the birth of the birth of David Walker. David
Mm,
Walker wrote a document in regards to telling the slave to rebel. You know, and from that aspect of things, they prepare a lot of things into existence in regards to people rebelling, fighting back, gaining independence. Because, like you said or stated earlier, stated previously that this is about resistance. So we look at our historical order, 1619, during the month of Black August, August the 20th, 21 odd slaves were brought over here. They were captured slaves that brought over here to build up America, right? And they gave it a hypnosis that we were indentured servants. Then after 40 years, they actually passed the law that we were actually slaves. But during that time period, we were breeding. That breeding count, they were raping our women and raping our men as well, and forcing us to develop more slaves to do the work and build up the legacy of America, right? But during that time period, even before that 1555, when he brought us to the shores of, we don't say South Carolina and other places, we resisted. We resisted aspects of the people, right? Even after the 1555 and that 1619, so forth on, then the 1600s, a lot of people ran away and fought and became established a civilization in Florida, became known as South Augustine, which is an independent town, nation, state. Even like that. So a lot of individual things we've been doing throughout the time period as catch new African citizens and catch new Africans since 1819, their history or during Black August have been geared toward us gaining our freedom, us to gain our liberation, us getting to and gaining independence, us to having the right to our own self-determination, which in turn is Kuchakalia, which is why he determined self-determination, with also a principle of Nguza Saba, which is the black principle of Kwanzaa. So Black August is significant and important in regards to creating that particular mind state of pushing that particular energy of resistance that we actually have in regard to giving ourselves back our culture, giving ourselves back our own mind, a re-Africanization process, colonization process, because we've been colonized. And like Conrad George say, fascism is already here. He also said, "Don't count me among the broken men." So that don't count me among the broken men is just a statement for us men and women to be strong, to be wise, to be intelligent, and push forward and make things happen in our life, what is life of our family, what is the nation that we push for, what is our organization, and so forth and so on. So, I yield right there, bro.
yes, sir. Thank you for that. Those of you watching, again, we are talking about the history and meaning of Black August. And of course, that's the immediate thing we're talking about. But we knew Africans have the ability to make connections and take something basic and expand it. So we're also talking about prison reforms, the rights of our people in captivity. We're talking about how we want to have our political prisoners and prisoners of war released. Right? We're talking about all types of things: anti-imperialism, deconstructing capitalism, building our own institutions, self-defense, all those key nationalist, revolutionary nationalist sort of points all come up when we have this discussion of Black August, because Black August, unlike many of our celebrations, it's a commemoration, and it's to activate us, to get us focused around the things we need to do, have food, clothing, shelter, protection, education, all those other things. I have on the screen the link for George Jackson University. Brother, while we have you here, because you're so much involved with it, could you tell us more about George Jackson University and why people should be a part of it, and what it's out here trying to do in our community? As you do that, I'm going to show the website as you talk.
Okay. Well, Georgia University was an institution that was created in the year 2000, and revamped 2002 in the prison of California. They were created by brothers that were political prisoners, and also by brothers that was on the streets. And Georgia University entire aim is trying to criminalize the refuge mentality. Being a criminal just whether being a nigger, being ignorant, being dead, it's the same type of mentality, right? So trying that criminal mentality through education and means. So George Jackson University entire purpose is to turn the whole prison slave content into the big issue learned through education means by turning your prison cell to a classroom. So you can be a better productive individual in the society, being in prison, and also better productive individual in society when you come to the streets. So you can be an asset to the people and not be an impediment, being an impediment to the people, or not being a nuisance as a criminal, but be an asset to your people and your community. By being able to bring information to them and skill set, they can actually build up a nation, or build up a community, build up a city of survival in your particular environment, right? So those are Georgia University on another level is geared toward the aspects of bringing information, propaganda, control the narrative. So once you start listening to Georgia University radio, you control the narrative in regard to our people's stories, you control the propagation, so we can understand and know that we have different possibilities that we can choose that are contrary to what we've been taught and programmed conditioned to listen to. We listen to people like good brother AGYEI'S talk about Harlem Liberation School, talk about his book. We listen to good brothers like Jihad Abdul Mumit talking about the Black Liberation Army. We listen to good brothers like Dr. Akane Yumoda talking about we pursue back and African education. You listen to brothers like Dr. Chika Cool talking about African education. You listen to sisters like Atlantic Browder talking about discoveries as one of the younger archaeologists in the history of the world, along with her dad, to make a discovery of the temple of Karakamoon in Kemet and being the only new African to ever discover the tomb their own archaeology. You learn about these things on Georgia University Radio. You can also understand these aspects, right? Well, Georgia University also has been engaging in years in regard to fostering different programs geared toward Black August, fostering program geared toward the aspect of being people well, 13th Amendment, what's known as the American Human Rights March, which happened in 2017. The aspect of making people being well, San Baby News, in regards to it being a political paper that been fostering information to people in the West Coast, California prison for over 40 some years, almost 50 years. The aspect of us learning different skills in our community, surviving, training, educating ourselves, so forth, so on in our environment, so we better people, to better our condition in our world and show the masses that we can contain things and make things possible if we so put our mind toward it, So Georgia University also had different components such as AIM, which is Autonomous Infrastructure Mission. And AIM deal with different things, dealing with, SAC, Sustainable Africa Committee, like showing us how to grow food, how to obtain farmland, showing us how we can teach math and science to our children, showing how we create a self-defense apparatus that we take to our community and teach our people. Also, the aspect of the African American Survival Network in regards to New African Security Network in regards to showing people how we can learn about emergency and disaster preparedness, so we be prepared for a disaster emergency, in which we've been experiencing with the pandemic, so to speak, in regards to showing how to have an escape plan, like we had network in regards to our medical, so forth, so on. We learn all these things at Georgia University. And also the aspect that, realize that, like Malcolm X said, America means prison. Until you realize that aspect in your own mind, that you're a prisoner in your own mind, like Malcolm X said, gaining a homemade education, you're going to be a slave to the oppressing enemy, to the education system that he already got, right? So we got to come out of that particular mindset in general and learn these different things, learn who we are, learn where we came from, what our purpose is, what our goals are, what we're trying to attain, what we're trying to push forward, right? So Georgia University has been a phenomenal for decades with the information and inside the prison and what's on the streets, right? Get to push forward the aspect. And also the aspect, like I said, speaking earlier, that a lot of us have suffered from the aspect of the prison slave company, the prison system. We know loved one, we know friends, social that have been incarcerated in prison, right? So, it's always good to write a brother or sister, send them books, literature, pictures, so forth, so on, and education and tools. They even enroll them into college classes to get some kind of degrees to educate themselves while they're there, right? And Black August, the time to pay attention to their political prison. It's the time to write a political prison, or write a regular person and ask them, how can you assist them? Ask them how can you make their case be known, or how can they learn from you, or share their relationship, because a lot of brothers have been in the prison 30, 40, 50 years and obtain a lot of knowledge, so they have a lot of experience and information that they can get to the youth, and the youth can benefit from this greatly. But like I said earlier, some of the founders of the GWU, I do look about Shakur, wrote many books on poetry, he wrote books on survival. He done wrote books on the aspects of the prison slave company. He wrote books on the aspect of the criminal mind state. how to avoid the criminal tracks. You know, wrote poetry, and whether the brother Joker or she and Magensei, these brothers have been writing books and material, you know, on the aspect of their education, so we can push out to the people so they get a better understanding. In the midst of establishing businesses and organization in the prison as well by being incarcerated. So these are examples showing you that these brothers can do it inside. What kind of achievement a company can do on the outside? Way better than greater than because we have more access to information and tools, resources than they have. So this is a little bit about Jordan University legacy. And in general, what we doing, what we got going on, pushing forward, right? You know, so it is what it is, you know, it is ain't. So we got to make it what it is by changing reality in regards to our own destiny, by our own thoughts and actions. You know, we must change that and realize that self-determination is not just about picking up a gun. It's about first getting your mind right. In order to be a foot soldier, you got to be a book soldier. You got to be educated on how to use that gun, how to clean that gun. You got to be educated on, how to shoot that gun. You got to be educated on all the aspects of things. You know, that for instance, if something break out right now, and there are no bullets, and you got to defend yourself, who gonna be making the bullets? Who gonna be making the bullets? You know, you get bullets who gonna be making the bullet for the gun if you don't have access to the bullets? Who gonna be making the bullets? That's education. Like if you don't have the bullets and guns, and you don't know self-defense, what type of weapon you gonna use? You know, who gonna make the weapon if you don't have any weapon? Those are things we gotta think about in regards to things breaking out. Like for instance, things break out and you don't have that but your urine to drink. How you gonna be able to, do you know how to clean your urine? Or you know how to clean sewer water, dirty water? Those are skills that you gotta learn in order to survive in this world. But the benefits to us, you know. That's the reality of what you can learn from Black August, learn by commemorating Black August, learn by dealing with Jordan University, and learn by being influenced by the aspect of the fire of the dragon, which Conrad George Jackson, which is the education of me. And I yield.
Brother Bomani, I'm sorry to interrupt. I've been dying to ask you this question. Who are some of the people and what are some of the organizations that our people should really be studying during Black August? Who are some of the people and some of the organizations?
I'm gonna say the California Black Prison Movement is something that should be studying. You know, we should be studying that. People should be studying the books like we are on Liberated by Baba Steele Luther King. They should be studying things by the Black Liberation Army. They should be studying material that relate to that resonate with the Black guerrilla family. But also be aware a lot of material by Black guerrilla family, Black Liberation Army, so forth, so on, been neglected, been manipulated by the beast, which is the system of the oppression. You should be reading things about Marcus Garvey and what he accomplished during the month of August in regards to the development of the nation. You should be reading out about the RNL-11, what they accomplished in regards to them fighting the system in 1971. You should be reading books about Haiti and the Haitian Revolution. You should be reading books about the Watts Rebellion. You should be reading books by David Walker. Reading books by Nat Turner. Reading books by D.M.R. Vesey. Reading books by Malcolm X, Saint Shakur, Bocce Carter, Elder Cleaver, different individuals that trample their criminal revolution. That's how to educate the means by being the Zord to the prison system. You should read books about George Jackson. You know, you should be also looking at documentaries about African history, the history of economics, the history of struggle, history of Black power, so forth. So on. It's just so much material that you can read and learn during a particular time period. You know, there's a lot of material. You know, especially things that benefit toward us. And one thing that the focus on Black August is turning the TV off and reading books. Then not just reading books, but reading in a collective study group, a study collective, so you can ask questions, make statements, learn together. You can learn each other by reading, or learn get some material that talk about survival and self-defense and self-preparation, and actually perform these certain things. Learn how to save seeds, learn how to grow plants, learn how to use hydroponics, growing food up on the water. Learn how to process food in regards to putting in making canned goods, things of the nature. You can learn about reading different books, but also a time period that you can get together and watch study documentaries about George Jackson, documentary about the Black Liberation Army, documentary about Haiti, Haitian Revolution, documentary about Marcus Garvey, documentary about Chairman Fred Hampton, documentary about the aspect of cooperative economics, Black empowerment, you know, different things of that nature that can be beneficial to us. So it's a wealth of material that you can learn. You know, those are some things I mentioned. It's a wealth of material you can learn, you know, read from, especially what our core principle is, our core document is Solid Brown Blood of My Eye by George Jackson. You know, those are the epitome of their whole thing. And for people who don't know, the first 80-some pages of Blood of My Eye is more a manual for conducting urban black guerrilla warfare. You know, it's a manual for conducting that. It's an education to be. The first 80-some pages of that book, you know, Blood of My Eye. It talks about those aspects of guerrilla warfare, urban and guerrilla warfare that they've been experienced by Africans all over the world and new Africans as well, you know. So those things to look at. Then the prison letter themselves, it based a lot of political educational lessons that he learned by behind enemy lines and also by his experience. Like he said, he met Marx, Lenin, and so forth, so on. He met no individual in mind state, you know. So, but once you start looking at those certain things, but many people, like right now, we haven't seen Conrad George. We haven't seen that individual, but by us reading about the individual and listening to their word, we can meet them in our particular mind. We never met Garvey, but we can learn through his mind state in regard to who he wrote, in regard to certain things like Amy Jacques Gar wrote about him in philosophy of opinion. We can learn from that particular mind state, you know. We can learn from different individuals that be influenced by that movement, even the aspects of where you at in New York. Learn about the aspects of a lot of the 5%ers that actually became Black Panthers during the Round Bay period, during the Round Bay Black Panther Party. You know, so that it came out, they were developed during June 1968. You know, they really were put in line in August 68 as well. I mean 66, June 1966, and August 1966, before the Black Panther offended, who started in October 1966, right? We can learn from that particular aspect as father a lot, educate a lot of brothers and sisters out of the criminal mentality by giving them knowledge of themselves, right? And they also recruited from different brothers in the street elements for the revolution action movement for their particular aspect of being in regard to pushing that Black Liberation Front, right? We can learn from those experiences, you know. We can learn from those things, you know. We can learn that we can learn about the rebellion in New York during the 1700s. We can learn that how slavery in New York was abolished, you know what I'm saying, during a particular time before abolished in other places. We learn these different things by educating ourselves. We also learned that Arthur Schomburg, who's a bibliophile, influenced some of our great thinkers, such as Dr. John Clark, who actually paid the way for a lot of things we talk about now in regards to African studies. He paid the way in 1940 for that, as well as literary greats such as Dr. John Clark himself. We can learn many things. Remember the individual, you know, such as Dr. John Clark, you know, who always said, I want to be my equal, everyone else I teach. So he's saying if you wasn't African, new African, he don't want to teach you, you know. He don't want to teach you base, you know. He don't want to debate you. He just gonna educate you, right? Well, the people that come in, he gonna debate them because they present a hostile meaning and try to. He knew that by the Oscar teaching in regard to how to present themselves in regard to making us think that we don't love ourselves. Like Rapper said, we the invisible man, invisible woman. We don't have no history, no idea, no culture, so forth and so on, right? So it's just a lot, man. It's a very beautiful thing that we can learn a lot from by our own experience. Like you read a Black August Journal, you can monitor everything you did that day. Like I look at this documentary, I learned this skill, I broke this habit, I went to this particular event, so forth, so on, to as a way to monitor things, as a way to show how much you're in progress and growth and development, right? So Black August is very significant in a lot of ways and reasons, man. It's just you know, it's a lot of material, it's so much material right now. But also you got to be cross-reference certain things with different individuals. There's a lot of individuals that actually created Black August that are still among, and also the one that became Black August for decades that are still around as well. So it's always good to be in tune with certain individuals that have questions, to get information, and also to just listen to them about their dates and time and history, so you can understand certain things and certain pitfalls that you don't need to go through that's unnecessary to you, you know, as well, you know. And also at times to realize that the struggle of political prisoners is an international struggle. You have political prisoners, Black political prisoners all over the world, not just in America, right? And, you know, and prison Dutch slave come to prison to the biggest in the world in regard to economic wise, and that it had been played out community because every time you look at something on TV, magazine, movie, they promote violence for criminal mentality, right? And the more they promote criminal mentality, the worse off we're gonna be as a people. We're not gonna be able to love each other, not be able to respect each other. Like now, there used to be a time that you knock on somebody's door next door and get sugar, coffee, bologna, bread, you know what I'm saying, so forth, so on. Now you talk to somebody, they're gonna ask you, well, they're gonna be looking at you crazy, or you gotta get an aspect now that you, at one time you were able to the community was your village. Now your community not your village. Now your community can be your adversary. They can hate you. They can live. You can live those somebody for 10 years, and now you know them because that's the way the mindset has been established and conditioned and programmed set up right now in your communities. Well, Black August bring you back to the reality of the community as a village, showing that you can get together in the community, create a community garden. You can put your foods and resources together and build a business. You can pull the resources and buy land. Black August shows you that and shows you how to be, how to study, train, and fight and struggle together. Black August shows you that. They give you back your familyhood, your brotherhood, your sisterhood, your community, your nation. It gives you back that throughout the things that occurred during Black August, and also through the spirit of resistance during that particular time, right? And I hear, bro.
Yes, sir. I just want to take a quick break to show this thing. Then we're going to come back to you, Brother Bomani, with any last words you have to say about Black August or anything else. 1 second, okay?
Okay.
Hey, you. I know you dig in Harlem Liberation School, all those interviews and those mini documentaries. Stop playing. You know Harlem Liberation School is fire. So what you need to do right now, if you're watching on YouTube, is click that red subscribe button. Share the video, add your comments, and click the notification bell. Yeah. Gotta throw that little plug in. Brother Bomani, always a pleasure to build with you, brother, to hear what you have to say. Man, are there any last words and anything that you left that you didn't get to touch on quickly that you'd like to say before we close this program, good brother?
Okay. The only thing I want to say is that for everybody who want to know about the real history of Black August, there's an event taking place this month, August the 31st, in Oakland, California. But they're headed by the Black Organizing Committee and New African Collective Think Tank. They're gonna be elders that actually started Black August there. So you got any questions or want to know anything about Black August and learn how it's practiced or commemorated, you can learn from the mouth of the people who actually established it during that time. You know, established during that date and time. So you can learn from those individuals. Again, it's gonna be August 31st in Oakland, California. There's some flyers around. You know, I can send the flyers to the good brother RG Tayimba. You want to circulate, but it's flyers floating around regards that. If you want to learn the real history and know about real Black August, there's an opportunity right there. Come to Oakland and hear from the mouth of the people who actually started, the architects right there in Oakland. You know, the ones that started in the streets and the ones that started in the prison system, and also the ones who brought to the street. You can hear from them right then and there because they're gonna be there. You know, and I want to say long live the African independent movement, and long live the dragon.
That's
yes,
right.
sir. Thank you,
free
good
the
brother.
land, Black people, new Africans. Let's free this land.
I didn't mean that, sir. You know, you got to
It's
free the
our
mind.
nation.
Got to free the mind first to free the land. Yes, sir.
That's right.
Thank you.
We need to have our own nation.
Question,
Family,
man.
we thank you all for joining us, particularly you, Brother Bomani. Know you're busy, man. Thank everybody for joining us, for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. More importantly, please go to George Jackson University. Get involved. Let's get back to, you know, the white man said, Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Well, we need to be saying that. You know, not always what the organization can do for us. What are we going to do for our organizations that are out here fighting every day, trying to get money and funds to serve the people that need your intellectual talent, your organizing talent? So during Black August, this is a good springboard month to ask those critical questions and take what we're doing in Black August and take it throughout the year, family, not just during August, throughout the year. With that said, thank you. Peace and Black power, free the land. Thank you, Brother Bomani. Family, for more information, hit Brother Bomani up. Go to George Jackson University. There's a whole lot of information on that website and also on his radio show that he does. George Jackson University Radio. Thank you, family. Peace and Black power. Free the land.
Right, I mean that, sir.